We have never lived in a time where brand was this underpriced. Let me explain. What is the biggest difference between me and a lot of people that look like me, or me and the companies that I work with and I get them there? It is the fact that I do branding, not sales. Branding is different than sales. I love when people come up to me like, Gary, I'm a marketer. I'm like, cool, what do you do? Well, I am affiliate marketer, and it's, you know, conversion-based, top of the, I'm like, you're a salesman, bro. You got your perspective. I just want to be happy. Don't you want to be happy? Unless you are producing content that is meaningful to an audience on this device across 7 or 8 platforms, podcast, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, like unless you're producing content in written form, audio form, or video form across 7 to 10 apps on this device, unless you are relevant on those 10 apps, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, if you are not, you are fundamentally irrelevant in society. This is a very important thing to understand, because I know there's people sitting here who have $11 million business and are super happy and aren't even on social media. I get that, but what you're not factoring in is what happens next. To me, what's most important is not today. I stand up here and so unbelievably appreciative of that reception that I just got, and knowing how many of you came here to hear me speak, but I promise you, as I breathe here right now, I recognize that literally everything I did an hour ago and back is irrelevant if I'm unable to execute going forward. Tomorrow, if I start making the wrong decisions and not executing, begins the vulnerability of unwinding everything I've done. And I think we all understand in society, we react much heavier to mistakes than we do to successes. The reason I'm pushing that you're irrelevant if you're not here is I don't think everybody here, including myself, has factored in how much more attention is going here. Let me promise you this. No matter what you think about technology, your kids on iPads all day, you always on the phone, nobody talking to each other, how you judge kids because they don't shake people in the hand and look in the eye, and all the other horror that demonizes technology, right this second, the way we interact with technology is the most basic you will ever see in your life. 10 years from now, every one of these phones, every one of these video game platforms, every one of these websites are gonna seem like a beeper and MySpace. You have to understand this. Here's why. There is nobody here pot committed enough to this, including myself. There is nobody in this theater right now pot committed to this enough, including myself. When I say pot committed to this, what do I mean? I mean, every person in this room needs to take a substantial step back and understand, am I producing enough pictures, videos, written words in these platforms to achieve what I want? And the answer, and I'll save you time, is no for everybody. And for somebody who's putting out 85 pieces of content a day, across audio, video, and written word a day, my answer is staggeringly no. Meanwhile, there are people here who take 4.5 hours to figure out a perfect Instagram post because they want it to look good when somebody lands on their profile. It's true. The quickest gateway, the quickest execution for everybody here to get whatever they're trying to get out of here today is to produce content on 10 websites. The quickest way for you to get what you want in your life is to produce videos, pictures, and written words across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, podcast, your website, email, text messaging platform, period. You know what's crazy? I literally want to say right now, thank you, London, I'm out. It is like, I'm thrilled to go into the mindset. I'm thrilled to tell you, and if you follow me on Instagram, this is where I've taken most of my content. I'm thrilled to tell you that the reason you're not producing enough content is unfortunately you value other people's opinions more than your own ambition and happiness. That literally Pants 47 can leave a content that you're ugly and it makes you stop posting. I can go into that. I can go into a million other things, but I make this very clear and obvious. The reason I am just beginning to succeed in my ambitions is because today is the least amount of content that I will produce, because I will produce more tomorrow and more the next day. You have to understand, media dictates everything, right? There's a specific reason that when there is a coup in a country, that the army goes and takes over the TV network and the newspaper. Communication is the game. Maybe because of being born in the Soviet Union and raised in the US, I had this paradox of being fascinated by a closed and open system of communication. Maybe because I'm an extrovert and I talk a lot. I don't know why, but something came natural to me my whole life, which is communication. What are the things that make people do things, right? What I'm fascinated by is the democratization of media. What I'm fascinated by is that everybody here, how many people here have been following me for more than 1 year? Raise your hand. The fact that 90% of this audience knows that all I want you to do is run Facebook and Instagram ads and you still aren't, makes me want to punch all of you in your face. I mean, literally all I've been asking you to do for the last 2 years is run Facebook and Instagram ads and you still aren't. And I say this because I put it on film, because I'm gonna run this exact video against you in 5 years on some platform, telling you that you missed the golden era of Facebook and Instagram because now it's appropriately priced. And you guys have heard me, if you follow me, say this. I regret that I wasn't able to build my dad's business bigger because I didn't spend enough on Google. I didn't spend enough. I had it figured out. It was called Google AdWords. It was working, yet I still was doing newspapers and direct mail and radio and television because I didn't understand the context of the moment that I was living in. I didn't have enough experience to know that I bought something so good, so underpriced, so scalable, that I didn't squeeze enough when Google AdWords was the best. If you follow me, you've heard me say that Amazon was the #1 spender on Google AdWords in those early days and literally used that underpriced attention to be what they are today. I want you to spend on Facebook and Instagram because there's a possibility that never in our lives again will you be able to get in front of people at that cost. Let me just say it one more time because I really need you to understand it. This, right now, and this is why I yell at myself, for the $50 or $80 or $100,000 of my own money that I spend on ads on these platforms to continue to build brand, the truth is, I should spend more. And this is not a joke. If I didn't have such a high expense to run my lifestyle because I have a family that's fancy now, let me make it more basic. If I was single right now, I would literally go move in back with my parents just so I had more money to run on Facebook and Instagram ads. I'm gonna say it one more time. We have never lived in a time where brand was this underpriced. Let me explain. What is the biggest difference between me and a lot of people that look like me, or me and the companies that I work with and I get them there? It is the fact that I do branding, not sales. Branding is different than sales. I love when people come up to me like, Gary, I'm a marketer. I'm like, cool, what do you do? Well, I am affiliate marketer and it's, conversion-based top of the, I'm like, you're a salesman, bro. You're not building a brand. You have 747 URLs that you do landing page optimization against and you convert, and that's amazing. Being an affiliate marketer is amazing, other than the fact that it should be called an affiliate salesman. Brand is why you buy Nike. Brand is why everybody who's wearing jewelry and watches right now are wearing what they're wearing because they bought on brand, not somebody cookied them on Instagram and remarketed to them and then they bought that watch, for the most part. And so I brand, and why I love brand is because it's in perpetuity. When you build a brand, you can play on that brand for a very, very, very long time. Why Facebook and Instagram are special, and more special than Google is in Google's heyday, it was not that I was building brand for Wine Library, I was building sales, because when you go on Google, all of our businesses are the same because they're blue letters on a landing page that you click. Brand is when your pictures and videos look different in a feed. Look, I think I'm coming out of the gate in this talk, and I'm gonna macro it up in a minute, but I'm coming out the gate in this talk very tactical about the details. In all my rah-rah and what people say, self-esteem, and all the mental that I believe in tremendously, because that's what gives you the engine. You know, you're not gonna execute if you're depressed or insecure. So like, I believe in it, but I'm putting it on a shelf, UK. I'm putting it on a shelf with you right now because an event that is so heavily marketed against me, knowing that you've heard a lot of this, I need one thing. I need 2 people to leave here who've been hearing me pound them in the face about running ads on these 2 platforms to finally say, it's enough, I'm gonna do it. And watch this is very, very important. And please raise your hands. How many people here have run Facebook and Instagram ads and it has not worked for their business? Raise your hands. Raise it high. Me too. Because not every execution works. Not every execution works. It doesn't mean it's not ROI positive. The ROI of a basketball for me is $0. It's $1 billion for LeBron. Just because you didn't execute Facebook or Instagram properly doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means you suck. Attention is like real estate. When Malibu beachfront property or property and buildings in shortage 20 years ago go up for the market and you buy it at the right price and then the market changes, you win. The attention on this device and the platforms is going to change very soon. You are a very unique group of people that feel that the Pied Piper of this opportunity is worth spending an afternoon with, or 2 days, or an hour, or what have you. It devastates me that you even pay attention to me at all and don't execute on the biggest gift that I'm trying to give you. Just because somebody has 800,000 followers on Instagram and you pay them $1,000 and somebody else has 40,000 and they want $1,000, I'm surprised how basic people are and they think the 800,000 is the better deal. I understand, it makes sense, the math is pretty clear, but a good affiliate marketer can tell you the conversion is gonna really matter. If you're trying to sell something, whether it's a service or a product, I couldn't push you harder to get into the culture of DMing influencers that you think may represent your brand properly or just have big audiences and start asking them what they would want for them to post about your B2B SaaS product or your new app or your hula hoop or your cool t-shirt or whatever it may be. All I ever think about, I'm very basic, super simple on supply and demand. I overlay attention and then culture, what's happening in it, and that becomes me, and I will always do that. No question, the other territory that I'm completely blown away by is influencers. Super underpriced, potentially super overpriced, but not allocating a couple $100, a couple $1,000, tens of thousands of bucks, depending on the size of your business, and putting it into that tunnel and that funnel and tasting it for yourself is a huge missed opportunity. Huge. Let me talk about another execution. I'm really excited about how tactical I'm getting today. Preroll YouTube. How many people here consume videos on YouTube? Raise your hands. Cool. Preroll YouTube. There's a way for you to segment and target people based on what they searched on Google and then pre-roll them based on what they're doing on YouTube. Meaning, there's a segmentation that allows you to target every single person that searched open houses in downtown London. If you're a real estate agent selling in downtown London and he's searching open houses in downtown London, but then 4 hours later he goes to watch Arsenal videos on YouTube, your pre-roll can show up first based on the context and data that that person created in YouTube search. It is one of the unbelievably strong brand and sales executions in the game, and you should literally go home and Google, because I don't know what Google's proper terminology is of this segmentation. How do I segment based on Google search as a pre-roll YouTube ad? Verbatim that. How do I search pre-roll YouTube ads based on Google search queries? If you're willing to unbelievably work and understand how the ads work, and unbelievably work and understand how the pictures, videos, and written words work, you will hit pay dirt, mainly on the back of what I did earlier when said, hey, for everybody that's got it, wasn't it so weirdly easy? The answer is yes. The attention is just so grossly underpriced, and it won't be. And so I'm passionate, as you can tell, and I'll tell you something. How many people here actually have been, 2014, how many people here have been following me for more than 7 years? It shouldn't be a lot, but I want to see it. Raise your hands. So for the 20 or 30 of you, you know I got quiet in 12, 13, 14, 15. Like I was quiet, there wasn't content. Wine was done, I wasn't making business videos, like once or twice a year, a keynote from a talk because I was doing a little talking. I got quiet because there was nothing to yell about.